Here is a sad story I found on Reddit. For as long as I can remember, my older brother Ethan was my absolute hero, the kind of person who seemed to radiate a quiet, gentle warmth that made the entire world feel safe whenever he was in the room. He was 5 years older than me, and while our parents were constantly screaming at each other behind closed doors, creating a war zone of shattered plates and bitter words, Ethan would always slip into my bedroom, gently cover my ears, and whisper that everything was going to be completely fine. He protected me from the darkness of our home, absorbing all the blows, all the anger, and all the neglect so that I could grow up with some semblance of a normal childhood. When he turned 18, he took a low-paying job at a local grocery store and immediately started saving every single penny, skipping meals, and wearing worn-out shoes just so he could afford to buy me a second-hand laptop for my schoolwork and a decent jacket for the winter. He never complained, not even once, and whenever I asked him why he worked so hard, he would just smile, ruffle my hair, and say that his only job in this life was to make sure his little sibling didn't have to suffer the way he did. But as the months went on, I started to notice a subtle, terrifying change in him that I didn't fully understand at the time. The bright, comforting light in his eyes began to flicker and fade, replaced by a hollow, haunting stare that seemed to look right through everything. He started spending hours sitting on the edge of his bed in complete darkness, staring blankly at the wall, his shoulders slumped under the weight of a silent agony that he refused to share with anyone. I would ask him what was wrong, begging him to talk to me, but he would always shake his head, force a weak, heartbreaking smile, and assure me that he was just a little tired from work. I believed him because I wanted to believe him, because the thought of my protector being broken was too terrifying to face. Then came the morning that changed my life forever. It was a cold, gray Tuesday, and I woke up to an eerie, suffocating silence in the house that made the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. I walked across the hallway to Ethan's room, expecting to see him getting ready for his morning shift, but his bed was perfectly made, completely untouched. On his desk sat a neatly folded piece of paper with my name written on it in his precise, beautiful handwriting, alongside his car keys and his small bank savings card. My hands began to tremble violently as I picked up the note, a cold dread pooling in my stomach before I even read a single word. The letter was short, written with a shaky hand that broke my heart instantly. He wrote, "My sweet little sibling, I am so sorry. I tried so hard to stay strong for you, to build a wall between you and the cruelty of this world, but the darkness inside my own mind has finally won, and I have absolutely nothing left to give. Please take my savings and use them to get out of this house, to build the beautiful life that I was too weak to achieve. Do not look for me, and please, never believe that this was your fault. You were the only reason I stayed as long as I did. I love you forever." I screamed his name, running out of the house into the freezing rain, frantically searching the neighborhood, praying to a universe I didn't believe in to just let him be safe, to let me find him before it was too late. But he was completely gone. The police found his car parked near the edge of the old suspension bridge over the river 3 hours later, the engine still warm, but there was no sign of him, no final trace, just a void where my brother used to be. Weeks turned into months, and months turned into years, but the river never gave him back to me, leaving me trapped in a horrific limbo of grief and unanswered questions. I spent the next 10 years trying to live the life he wanted for me, working hard, graduating college, and moving away from our toxic parents. But every single milestone I achieve feels completely hollow because he isn't here to see it. Every time I look in the mirror, I don't see my own face. I see the reflection of the boy who destroyed himself to keep me whole. I am haunted by the memory of those quiet nights, wondering what I could have said, what I could have done to save the person who saved me. I carry his savings card in my wallet to this day, untouched, a sacred and painful reminder of a love so profound that it sacrificed its own survival just to give me a chance to breathe. He built a fortress to protect me from the storm, but I never realized that while I was safe inside, he was outside, slowly drowning in the rain.